Welcome to the online lecture series on 8051 microcontroller. We shall start with module 4. Okay. To give a brief introduction to module 4 discusses with two important peripherals of 8051. That is the timers and the serial port. Before we discuss the timers, we will learn how to calculate the delay for a given code using software instructions. So that will be the preliminary part of this module. So before we start with timers or calculating any software delays or how much time an instruction takes, we should understand the source of the clock for our 8051. So in day-to-day life also we refer to time, right? So we do have watch and it has got three dials, the hour, minute and the second. Now the basis for the calculation is the second. And how do we get that second? Because there is a 1 hertz crystal being connected. So if f is equal to 1 hertz, 1 upon f is t is equal to 1 upon f. So you get that 1 second. So based on that 1 second, you calculate the minutes, then from minutes to hours. Okay. So likewise, first we need to understand what is that 1 second or what is that minimum time for our 8051. How does 8051 generate this clock? Okay, so that's the first point. If you remember the pin diagram we had discussed in the module 1, 8051 has got two pins, namely crystal 1 and crystal 2. They are 18th and 19th pin. Okay, so this is part of your 8051. Okay, now to these pins we are connecting a crystal here. Okay, we are connecting a crystal. Now this crystal you cannot connect as you wish. The manufacturer will tell you the range of the crystal that can be connected to this 805. Okay, so the manufacturer says you can connect a crystal between say 5 hertz to 20 hertz. So between 5 hertz to 20 hertz, you have to go to the market and select a crystal which is between 5 to 20 megahertz. And it's not that you will get crystal of your choice. So in crystals also, there are standard crystals. Okay, the most common crystal which is connected for 8051 is 11.0592 megahertz. This is the crystal being connected. So when you connect this crystal, so this crystal is connected to the clock circuitry of 8051, which is inbuilt in the 8051. This crystal frequency, now remember the terms, crystal frequency is different, clock frequency is different. Okay, so this crystal frequency, it is internally divided by 12 by 8051 clock oscillator. So what does it mean? Suppose if I have connected a crystal of 12 megahertz. Okay, so internally if it is divided by 12, so what is the clock frequency now? So the clock frequency will be equal to 1 megahertz. Okay, so any crystal you connect, that will be divided internally by 12. This is only with respect to 8051. and not with respect to all the microcontrollers. Okay, in 8051, the crystal frequency, it is divided by 12 by the internal clock oscillator, and this clock frequency is the source. Okay, and this is the minimum amount, the time which it requires. Okay, for example, see, suppose if I talk about watch and assume this crystal is of 1 hertz. Okay, and let us assume there is no dividing circuitry. So 1 upon 1 hertz is equal to 1 second. Now here, what is the minimum time? Here it is the crystal frequency divided by 12. Suppose if I say the crystal frequency is of 12 megahertz. So 12 megahertz internally divided by 12. How much it is? 1 megahertz. And what is the minimum time now? Minimum time will be equal to 1 upon f. F is the clock frequency, which is 1 megahertz now. So 1 upon 1 megahertz will be equal to 1 microsecond. So this 1 microsecond is similar to your 1 second of your watch. Now all other calculations which will be calculated will be based on this 1 microsecond. Okay. See here. The clock frequency, it will be equal to the crystal frequency by 12. Okay. Let us assume I have connected a crystal frequency of 11.0592 megahertz. This will be divided by 12 internally by the clock oscillator. So what you get is 921.6 kilohertz. Okay, so this is the clock frequency. Remember the terminologies. Crystal frequency and clock frequency are different. Okay, now this is the speed with which your 8051 will work now. Okay, higher is the crystal frequency, more is the speed. Okay, so one clock period, so T will be equal to 1 upon clock frequency, so it comes out to be 1.085 microsecond. This we call it as one clock period, or we also call it as one count. Okay, so this calculation is very important because this is the basis for calculation in timers. Okay, I repeat, we have the crystal frequency which is connected externally, that is internally divided by 12. You get the clock frequency. So from the clock frequency we calculate the count, that is 1 upon f. So in this case it is 1.085 microsecond. Now all our calculations are based on this count. Okay, for example, see here, I have written some instructions. Okay, now how do we suppose whenever we do some work, we calculate in terms of time, right? So if I give you some assignment, so I may ask you in how many minutes you will submit this assignment, or in how many hours you will solve this problem. Okay, similarly, in case of microcontrollers, we talk in terms of machine cycle. Okay, so machine cycle, so it depends upon the complexity of the instruction, how many machine cycle it takes. Okay, minimum is always 1. In case of 8051, maximum is 4 machine cycles. Okay, for example, now move instruction, move R3 comma hash immediate data. This takes 1 machine cycle. What does it mean? The time taken to execute this is 1 into 1.085 microsecond. This is the minimum, this is the one count value. So to execute this instruction, 8051 takes how much time? 1.085 microsecond. Then decrement R3. This also takes 1 machine cycle. So the time taken is 1.085 microsecond. DJNZ R2 comma relative address. This takes 2 machine cycles. Okay, so the time taken will be 2 into 1 the value of one count, that is 1.085 microsecond. So that is equal to 2.17 microsecond. Okay, as I told, it depends upon the complexity. See, for example, if you say decrement jump on non-zero, so what all operations it has to do, it has to first decrement, then it has to compare, then it has to take decision. So to do all these activities, this instruction takes some time. That's why the time taken for this is 2 machine cycles. sjump takes 2 machine cycles because it has to calculate the branching address. Nop, okay, nop is an instruction which doesn't do anything. It's a dummy instruction, but if you introduce anywhere between the code, it takes 1 machine cycle. The return instruction, okay, in the subroutine, it takes 2 machine cycles. Okay, so if you add up all this time, that is the time taken by this code. So you can say my code takes this much of time. Okay, now the question is, there are around 51 instructions in 8051. Should I remember all the machines? Should I need to remember the machine cycles taken by all the instructions? No. Why? Because uh, this uh, software in case of software delays, we use only few instructions. Okay, so those instructions I have mentioned in this PPT only. Okay, like move, decrement, DJNZ. So if you remember the machine cycles of these instructions, it's more than enough. Okay, so it's not that you have to remember all the machine cycles. Okay, so once you know how to calculate the time taken for each instruction, then we shall see how to calculate the time taken by a code. Okay, so in this case, if this code is given to you, so you have to write down this machine cycle, you have to calculate this one period, and you add up this is the time taken by this code. Okay, so in the coming lectures we shall see how to calculate the time taken by a code using software instructions. Now why this is called a software delay is, we are generating the delay using software instructions. Okay, we are not using the timer module. Okay, we are using only the software instructions. Okay, for example, if you want to blink an LED. Okay, now as I have said, whenever you want to blink an LED, so once you on, you should give some delay. If you don't give delay, you will not be able to differentiate between the switching on and switching off of an LED. So what will you do? You will switch on the LED, give some delay. So how will you write that delay? There are two methods now. Use this kind of software delays, or use timers, which I have not yet discussed. Okay, so you can write a code using these software instructions. Say if you want to blink an LED for 1 second, write a code which takes 1 second, and again you switch off the LED. Okay, so in those cases these software delays are useful. Okay, thank you.